everyone. Welcome back to another interesting episode of Gist with Esse. If you're joining us on Facebook, please remember to create a watch party or share on your page so your friends can be a part of the show. Today's show is going to blow your mind. I'm so excited about the show today because, well, if you've been following Gist with Esse, you know that I have been struggling with my weight management and all of that for a while. So I'm always excited when someone is coming on the show to talk to me about how, I can manage my weight or actually lose weight. Our guest today is a very interesting guest because she's going to be teaching us how we can lose weight on Nigerian diet. That's huge for me because I love my Nigerian food. Her name is Ronke Edoho. She's the founder and creative administrator for the popular Nigerian food blog, Niger.com. I'm sure a lot of you know about that. And she started the blog to educate the world on Nigerian food, as well as find modern ways to represent traditional recipes. She's a certified clinical weight loss specialist and author of the cookbook Lose It Nigerian. That actually caught my attention. Her cookbook focuses on healthy modifications to traditional Nigerian recipes for people who are interested in eating clean and or losing weight. The losing weight part is that's me. So I'm going to bring her on and then we're going to get started right away. Hi, Ronke. Welcome to Gist with Esse.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, so am I. So before we get started, tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Ronke Edoho, and I'm the founder of Niger Foodie. Niger Foodie is a place where I share all of my my love of Nigerian food, which started from agric. So long story. And I'm also the founder of Losing Nigerian. Losing Nigerian is a platform for healthy eating on a Nigerian diet. I'm also the founder of Jollof Code, which is an in-depth learning platform about Nigerian food from farm to table.
Wow, you've got three.
So that's the short story.
You've got three companies that just deals with food. You must really love food.
I do.
You do, yeah.
I love food. Makes me happy. A chartered accountant professionally, but food is kind of like the love of my life. So yeah.
Okay, so tell me, did you ever struggle with weight at any time?
Yes, I did. So when I was about 16, I was the average Nigerian teenager. I don't think I had any awareness about like my weight or anything. I went to boarding school in Nigeria. For a lot of people had experience going to boarding school, especially not the tuition ones. You know that you always lose weight when you go to school because you finish your provision early in the term. So, I didn't have any struggles with my weight until I was about 16. That was when I finished secondary school. Between secondary school and going to university, I spent about 2 years at home. And that time for me was a time I spent eating and eating and eating and eating. And unfortunately, the weight started to pile on. And then when I was about 18, I moved to Canada for university. And of course, it was access to food, but even worse, right? Now you have all of the cheese and the milk and the fried chicken, which isn't like traditional to us, and the average Nigerian diet. When I was growing up in Nigeria, fast food was an occasional treat. But moving to Canada, fast food was just food that you ate all of the time. So that kind of like compounded on the weight for me. And then I started trying to lose the weight because I was gaining weight at like a really rapid pace. And it was either salad or you buy slimming tea. I tried everything. Nothing was either working or nothing was sustainable. And that was kind of what got me interested in like researching about like implication of, in normal Nigerian diet and weight loss.
Wow. It must be a very long journey. So how did you get to be a weight loss coach?
So I was documenting my journey on the Niger Foodie page. So I started food blogging about over 10 years ago. And at that time, I was kind of like carrying my audience along my journey of trying to be healthier and trying to lose weight. And there was a lot of interest from people who were interested when they saw my progress. So for me, the natural thing to do was to get a formal education in terms of, what was considered a healthy diet, how to lose weight, eating like normal food, understanding macronutrients, and all of these things that for me as an accounting student, really, I didn't have the background on. So that it was the interest from my audience that got me interested in getting an educational background in nutrition.
I go through your page and I always see you post things about you have the dress down, you have 1 week, different programs, different stuff that you post on there about losing weight. So I'm like, I've seen something about 1 week. I'm like, how can you lose weight in 1 week? How much weight can you really lose in 1 week? So is it possible to lose noticeable weight in 1 week?
So I think it's extremely important to first come from a position that your weight loss interest is not the same thing as the next person's weight loss interest.
True.
For somebody, their weight loss interest is losing 50 kg. For another person, it's just the extra 4 pounds that they want to lose, right? So your journey is unique to you and your goals are unique to you. So that's why we have different types of programs depending on what the goal is for that particular person. So if your goal is to lose over 10 kg, we have a 3-month program. If your goal is just to drop a dress size, but unfortunately, people want to do the over 10 kg, but they want to do it in 7 days. Unfortunately, that's neither realistic, nor possible, nor healthy. If your goal is to drop a dress size, we have a 3-week program. If your goal is to debloat, right? So you're just feeling sluggish, you're feeling bloated, we have like a 4-day debloating program. If you're just looking to like, okay, I just want to get back into healthy eating, drop a little bit of weight, 2 to 4 pounds, we have a 7-day program. So depending on what your goal is, naturally, we will direct you to the program that allows you to achieve that goal. For some people, they really just want to learn about healthy eating. So what can I do in 7 days? Where can I get, habits that I can form and then maintain long term? I don't want to come into a longer term program. I just want the foundational knowledge for me to understand what healthy eating is, what healthy portions are. And that's where you get into like the shorter term program because it helps them to accomplish that short term goal.
Okay, so for someone like me, I have a target to lose 5 kg.
Yeah.
But I don't have, let me use the word, the patience to do anything long term. So while I appreciate the lifestyle, learning, to have it as a lifestyle, I want to lose 5 kg and I want to lose it fast and then gradually, adopt the healthy lifestyle. What do you have a program for that? Do you have something that can help me lose 5 kg quickly and then still stay on the healthy lifestyle path?
Define fast. What does fast mean to you?
Fast means to me, let me not lie, if I can lose 5 kg in 2 weeks and then maintain it. I have lost 5 kg, 4 kg in like 3 weeks before, but I was ill. So it's not like it was conscious, like, I was doing any particular. No, I was ill. I couldn't eat. I was only able to take soup. I was just licking soup for 3 weeks. That was the only, and so I lost that weight. Yeah. But now, after I lost it, I was so happy, but I could not maintain it. I couldn't keep it off. So for me, it's not just about losing it. I lose it, and then once I got better, it came back, right on. So you see, that's the struggle that I've been having,
So I wouldn't say
so if you give me 2 weeks.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a struggle. I think you're just confining yourself with unrealistic expectations. And unfortunately, weight loss and unrealistic expectations is how people start drinking tea and spending so much money on things that really not only does it not get them results, it can harm them and it can actually lead to long-term dependency. So can you lose 5 kg in 2 weeks? It depends on your starting weight. So people who are heavier at the start are able to lose weight faster than people who say are like small. So if you say a size 6 and a size 16 are trying to lose weight, the size 16 is going to lose weight faster than the size 6.
Really?
Yes, because the size 16 is able to create a larger calorie deficit than, say, a size 6. There is healthy calorie threshold that, for the average adult, around 1,200 to 1,400 calories is the minimum calorie requirement for you to function, to just
Okay.
exist on any given day. So for a size 6 that is trying to lose weight, they can probably create maybe like 200 to 300 calorie deficit per day for them to maintain that minimum threshold. For a size 16 that is trying to lose weight, they have a larger calorie allowance to play with. So maybe they can create like a 600 to 700 calorie deficit on a daily basis. So they'll be able to lose weight faster than somebody who is smaller. But to come back to your question, can you lose 5 kg in 2 to 3 weeks? Absolutely, you can. So I would say I would do 24 days actually. I would do dress down and then I would do rapid cleanse. So dress down is 21 days, rapid cleanse is 4 days. And for you to maintain that loss, again, maintaining weight loss is a factor of calorie deficit. There is no magic to it. There is no miracle to it. So if you go back to just overeating and overeating and overeating, of course, you're going to gain the weight back, right? Because you're giving the body more energy than it can burn. But if you say that, okay, now I know I have lost this weight. So instead of having waffles for breakfast every day, I'm going to have a green smoothie, a 300 to 400. Like, you're not necessarily counting calories, right? But you're already subconsciously creating a calorie deficit. So for the rest, for like, let's say 3 months, I'm just going to replace every breakfast with either a smoothie or maybe like 2 to 3 boiled eggs. You haven't really changed anything foundationally, but you've created a potential calorie deficit. If you are a heavy supper person, so instead of say, I'm going to have 3 cups of jollof rice and then 2 pieces of meat and Nigerian salad with all the dressing and stuff, maybe I'll have 1 cup of jollof, a healthy bowl of salad with minimal dressing, and then 1 piece of meat. So you're reducing your portion. You're still creating fullness, but now you're creating a calorie deficit. And that's how you maintain long-term, by finding places in your diet where you can cut back without necessarily counting calories every day. So that's how you maintain loss. Weight loss, you don't just lose weight and then that's it. Like, I just go back to doing what I'm doing and I'll be able to maintain it. No, you have to consciously create calorie deficit for you to be able to maintain the loss.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about food cravings. Because that's one of the challenges I've had, over time. Like, so I can stay off sugar during the period where I'm trying to cut down or lose some weight and all of that. But on days when I don't sleep early, because sometimes I stay up at night to work, to do stuff, and I start to have cravings, what do I do? This is way past, the normal dinner time. Okay, so I'm up at 11 and I'm reading, okay? And I just feel like something has to go into my, because I'm one of those people that if I'm hungry, there's nothing you want to do. I cannot sleep. That sleep will not come. There's no magic. Some people say, just go to bed, you forget it. For me, it doesn't work. I will have to, even if it's 2 a.m., because what happens is I ignore it at 10, 11. By 2 a.m., I would wake up and I'll go and put something in my belly. So what can I do to help myself?
Okay. So I think the first thing is there's difference between cravings in discipline and long truths. A lot of us
don't do that to me.
A lot of us we tend to bundle everything together. And hunger, right? So what you've described to me sounds like you're hungry. Hunger does not discriminate. Hunger does not require that you consume sugar. Hunger requires that you eat. So if it's 2 a.m. that you're hungry, the same interest that you have in consuming carrot at that point in time should not outweigh the interest you have for consuming cookies at that point in time. So I think it's, first of all, important that you are truthful with yourself, that if you're hungry, then, okay, I can have a carrot, you can have some carrot, I can have some fruit, I can have some vegetables, and I'll be full. If I'm hungry, but the only thing that my body would need for me to go back to sleep is cookies, then we're talking about indiscipline, not hunger.
Okay.
So I think it's extremely important that you first of all define that for yourself in terms of is it cravings, is it indiscipline, or is it hunger? If it's hunger, I should be able to satisfy it with healthy food and I'll be fine. If it's
Okay.
cravings, I should be accounting for it in my diet. So on a day that you know you're going to be working until 2 a.m., maybe you want to delay your supper. Maybe instead of eating
Okay.
supper at 6, you want to eat supper at 10. That way, you're able to stay longer without necessarily being hungry, right? So if
Okay.
you have to account for it, you have to plan for it, and then you have to be honest with yourself in defining what exactly that is. Is it cravings? Is it hunger? If it's hunger, eat healthy. Nobody's going to get fat from eating carrots or from eating cucumber or from eating, an extra banana. Where there's issue is, oh, I'm hungry, but the only thing I can eat at this time is a cookie. Or it's definitely cereal with plenty of peak milk or evaporated milk and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That is not hunger. That is, something else.
That's something else. Okay, so you're saying to me that it's okay for me to eat at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, as long as it's healthy.
As long as you're creating, if your goal is weight loss, the
Mm-hmm.
ultimate thing is for you to create a calorie deficit. So if you know that I'm trying to lose weight, I'm not hungry at 6, but I know I'm going to be hungry at 10, then it's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine for you to delay your supper until 10 when you're hungry, than for you to eat at 6 and then go eat again at 10.
At 10, okay. Okay,
So
because
eating late does not, like, I know there's a myth that when you eat late, your body automatically stores that as fat. That's not what happens. If you eat
okay.
late, as long as you're creating a calorie deficit, i.e., you're giving your body less energy than it needs, so it's not your body's not storing the excess energy. It doesn't translate to fat. Fat happens when we consume more energy than we actually need to function as human beings.
Oh wow. Okay. I'll bear that in mind because it's scary. A lot of nights I'm like, oh no, but because you see, for me, I actually don't feel hungry around 6 or 7. I have to force myself because of that, general knowledge, or the popular saying that you shouldn't eat after 7 p.m. if you're trying to lose weight. You get me? So I'll just force myself to eat. Unfortunately, if I'm going to stay up to read at night, I'm going to be hungry, and then I have to eat something, even if it's biscuits. I just put in my mouth and drink a cup of milk, and I'm like, okay, at least I'm full. So now that I know that I don't have to eat at 6 or 7, I can just wait till 9 or 10 to eat, and then I'm good. Great. Okay, so before we continue, remember, guys, you can call us on +4474 66951641 if you want to speak to our guest directly. And yeah, send in your questions. Okay, she's here. She's talking about Nigerian food. Eating Nigerian food and staying healthy while doing it. Okay, so I've been struggling with my weight for a couple of years. So it's been off and on. So I've done a bit of research on my own as well. And I came across someone who said that it's not fat, or being obese is not something you inherit. Some people tell you, oh, it's a family gene. People are big in my family, so there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to be big. And the lady says, no, it's not. It's not something that you can inherit. What you inherit is eating habits. Okay, so if you come from a place where your parents, their parents before them ate a certain way, and because of what they've been consuming, they are big. If you keep eating what they were eating, you will still be big. So, for example, I'm from Delta State in Nigeria, and we are big on carbohydrates. Breakfast is yam and maybe plantain pepper soup, okay, with chicken or goat meat, and that's breakfast, typical breakfast. And then you would have lunch and you eat starch or eba with banga soup. Banga soup is oil, like you get what I mean. And then even at night, if you decide you want to eat early, or even if you're not eating at night, I mean, those 2 meals for that day alone, that's a lot of fat. So what she's saying is, if you keep eating like your parents, you're going to end up looking like them. But if you change that feeding habit, then you're going to look different. You're not going to look as big, or you're not going to have the so-called genes that you're afraid that is a family heritage. What do you have to say about that? What's your thoughts on that?
I think both things can be true at the same time. I
Okay.
think that genetics play a role in our body composition. So,
Okay.
for example, if you come from a family where most women have 23-inch waist, that's your genetic predisposition. Your genetic predisposition is to have a 23-inch waist, right? Based on your bone
Mhm.
structure. If you come from a family where most women have like 42-inch waist, that is your genetic predisposition. Your body
Mhm.
ability to burn fat, your metabolism, those things really, there are things you're born with, right? Your body's ability, the number of fat tissues and all of that. Those things are things that you're born with. Can you change your genetic predisposition? Absolutely yes, right?
Okay.
So, changing your genetic predisposition is not, oh, there's no 23-inch waist in my family history, I want to change my bone structure. You cannot change your bone structure.
Sure.
But let's say there are a lot of women who are size 20 in my family. I want to be a size 6 or a size 8. Can you eat your way to a size 6 or a size 8? Can you exercise your way? Can you lifestyle change your way to a size 6 or a size? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, you can. You can be a size 6 or a size 8, even if everybody in your family is a size 20. Your genetic predisposition is to be a size 20, because that's what you're born into. That's your that those are the meals that you're familiar with, your
Mhm.
number of fat cells that you have, your body structure and composition. But can you change it? Yes, you can. You can eat healthier to be better. You can be a size 8 even if everybody is a size 20. But it's important to understand that your genetic predisposition or your genetic composition plays a role in
Okay.
your body structure overall.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna go on a little break, and we'll be right back. Okay. Let's just take our spotlight.
I done enter one chance. I come for one dance, done turn to romance. I'm a silly, your body go Kilimanjaro. Make it man high past Paro. All of my chickies a freak in the morning. Baby's a freak in the evening.
Okay, and that's our spotlight for the week. Keda Ace in your face, the UK-based Nigerian artist, and you can get all his music on YouTube at Keda Ace. Also on every other social media platform, you can find him at Keda Ace. And yeah, according to the song, if you want your body to be like the girl in the video, the Kilimanjaro body, then I have the right plug for you right here. Ronke Edoho will hook you up to that killer body that you've been looking for. Okay, you don't need to stress
If you're
yourself.
willing to
And
put
the
the
catch
work.
is you can get that body on a Nigerian diet. That blows my mind. I've never gone on a diet with Nigerian food.
Hmm.
Never, it's never happened for me. If I'm going to lose weight, I'm telling myself, okay, next 3 weeks I'm going to lose weight. I'm doing smoothies, I'm doing fruits, I'm doing salads. I'm cutting out everything Nigerian. Even this year, I just started eating rice again. After the rice I ate 1st of January, yes, I cut off rice completely. And then I just started eating rice again, this month because it was my brother's birthday. So you get what I mean? So that's what I do. So when I see I can lose weight on a Nigerian diet, I have a friend who swears by a couple of friends actually who have been telling me, I say you need to try this, lose it Nigerian. That's the way to go, So I was like, okay, let me hear from her myself, and hear how she actually gets this thing done. So your meals that you plan, how did you come about your recipes? how I know that you do a lot of research and all of that, but is Nigerian food, how do you, you know, you've got a lot of recipes. There's so many plans that you've got. How do you work those things out?
Um, Research, working with labs,
Oh,
nutrition, the basics of nutrition is the basics of nutrition, right? So you have macronutrients, which is like the protein, carb, and fat.
mm-hmm,
That is composition for every meal in the world, regardless of where that meal is from, right? And then you
mm-hmm,
have micronutrients, which are your vitamins and minerals. So it's in understanding this basics, definitely, from education, and also being able to like research, work with labs to find nutritional data and all of these things. So and then I have a test kitchen, so we test and test and test before a lot of people get access to
oh,
products. We've tested them with, our research group. We've had a couple people on the journey to take it, to fine tune it. So um, it's just been invested in the process, I would say. I'm interested in it. I'm invested in it. I honestly think that the Nigerian diet is one of the healthiest diet in the world. The traditional
mhm.
Nigerian diet is one of the healthiest diets in the world, and I am here to prove it.
Wow. Let's talk about jolloffcode.com.
Mm,
That's one of your companies. Okay,
yeah.
so you started your food blogging and then you went on to Lose It Nigerian, you started studying for the diet and everything. And then what was the inspiration behind jollofcode.com? Because jollofcode.com is a company that specializes in in-depth teaching about West African food,
Mhm.
from produce to table.
Correct.
Yeah, I've gone to your website, so I see, that you're doing a lot of that. And you're in Canada. So what's the inspiration behind that, and how easy is it to grow African food outside Africa?
Like I said at the beginning of the show, my interest as a child was in farming. Like when most of my
Mm,
friends wanted to be doctors and lawyers, I wanted to be a farmer.
wow.
I've always been interested in just seeing food grow. I also happen to have grown up with a grandmother who farmed, actually, both of my grandparents. They both farmed. So I had very early childhood exposure to
Okay.
understanding, traditional leaves and what they're used for and how they're grown. And that is something that I think is getting lost as we kind of get into like modernization and less
True.
time. And, I'm Yoruba. I grew up on maybe like 30, 40 different soups. I grew up eating tofu, which we call wara soya. I grew up eating mushrooms, king oysters, oyster, like these things for the average person will be like, what do you mean you grew up eating mushrooms? Who eats mushrooms in Nigeria?
In
Like,
Nigeria.
yeah, like people be like, and for the local dwellers, it was just a meat substitute that was cheap. They could cultivate it by just like there's so many, there's a wealth of nutrition in Nigeria. And I feel like a lot of them are kind of now relegated to like the rural areas. And with modernization, I think we'll lose a lot of that knowledge. And I'm here to make sure that we do not. I'm here to make sure that we document. I'm here to make sure that a new age of modern Nigerians are interested in knowing what some of these leaves are. An example I always like to give is low-cost beans. A lot of us eat ayamashi. We know there's low-cost beans inside it.
Yeah.
It looks like a regular bean, but how does it actually grow? Right? Locust beans does not come from a shrub like regular beans. It's actually a giant tree. And it is
Wow.
beautiful when it blooms, and the kids use it to drum, and there are celebrations and traditions around harvesting it. And it actually has a pulp that tastes like sugar. Like there is so much beauty in these things that we take for granted because of
Mhm.
modernization. So I want to educate people on this beauty and hopefully not lose the history of, the history that comes with our traditional food and your processing.
Wow. Okay, let me take this message from Lady B Bola says, I want to learn. So yes, Lady B Bola, you can learn all about Ronke Edoho's companies. She's got three of them: jollof.code.com is about growing your food. Okay, so you can find that on Instagram, yeah, on jollof.code.com on Instagram, and you can also find her on Instagram at either
Ninja Foodie.
nigerfood.com. Oh, nigerfoodie.com, and Lose It Nigerian as well, all on Instagram. And then from Instagram, it will take you to her web pages and all that, and you can learn all about, living healthy on Nigerian food. Okay, so how easy is it to grow African food outside of Africa?
I think it depends on what I think the goal with Jollof Code isn't just growing. I think the growing portion is just like one of the things that we released early just because it's garden season. So it's actually, from in-depth recipes, right? So for somebody who might be new or who didn't grow up with in a household where they cooked, so do you want to know why certain steps are important in a foriro, for example? Or do you want to know how to cook fire jollof? Our goal is to just be the platform where people can go to learn, in depth about like recipes and the things that go into them, perhaps the nutrition profile of the things that go into them, the steps that are important, the ones that you can forego. So that's what the overarching vision for Jollof Code is not just about gardening, but the gardening portion of it. There are certain Nigerian vegetables that are very easy to grow. So water leaf is an example of Nigerian vegetable that is easy to grow in the sun. A lot of us that live outside the country probably have like a growing season. It ranges between 4 to 6 months, except you live in like Hawaii or California where it's hot all the time. If it's hot all the time, then you can grow those things all the time. You have things like greens. Those things are easy to grow as well, because you need full sun and you get full sun at certain times of the year. A lot of people always think that they can maintain their garden over winter. You cannot. So you cannot. When you grow your things in the summertime, you harvest them and then you freeze for the winter months. So yeah, a lot of things that we eat, especially fresh vegetables, are very easy to grow as long as there's a period of time where you have full sun.
Okay, so does the soil not matter?
Most things need nutrient-dense soil. For a lot, especially here, you're not really like just going to go and plant in your backyard, right? There is like pre-mixed soil that are mixed for vegetables. So if you're growing in a garden bed, for example, or in a container, you can actually go out and buy specialty soil. I know in Nigeria, a lot of us just throw things on the ground and they grow. That's not how things work outside Nigeria, right? You have to go and you buy the soil and then you grow in the specialized soil that is, formulated to be able to grow vegetables.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you, viewers, for joining. I can see you, Theodora Ibekwe, buddy. Thank you for joining. Light Vasha, Keda Ace, and Kende Olawi, Tommy and Noiden. Thank you guys for joining. Please send in your questions. Okay, before we round up in a few minutes. Let's talk about challenges to blogging about food. When you started, what were the initial challenges to blogging about food, creating weight loss recipes, and then monetizing your kind of business? Because I see that with jollof.code, you actually sell courses. You offer courses.
So I guess challenge that comes with building recipes is that a lot of us in Nigeria cook with the spirit of our ancestors. We just throw, right? We just know. I think the biggest challenge for me was to be able to create recipes that use measurement, especially for people that are not used to measuring. So that's definitely something that we try to carry on, be it recipes on Niger Foodie or on Losing Nigerian. We try to make sure that there's accurate measurement, which is actually important to get in the final result for the food that you're trying to prepare. So I think that was probably the biggest early on challenge that I had. And I think as things kind of went on, I had a full-time income that paid me well. So monetization was never a priority for me, which was a bit silly, I think, now looking back, because I think that when you give a lot of things away for free for a very, very long time, there's expectation that you always do that.
Okay.
So I think that's probably one thing that I still struggle with is in defining the value for what I'm offering, because what I've realized is if you do not put value on the work that you're doing, somebody else will take it, repackage it, and put value on it. So that's still a learning curve for me. It's in just understanding that line between proper compensation for the value that I'm generating for people. Yeah, I guess what was the last question? I can't remember what the final part.
Monetization. Yeah, we're talking about monetization. How you now you sell out courses. So is it really lucrative right now? Are you making good money from it? Okay, I can't hear you anymore.
You should be able to now.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I think that for me, I haven't gotten to a point where I'm dependent on income from my blog or from anything I'm doing. So maybe that's a question for like 2 years from now, where I'm actually like, depending on the income, and then I have to like make it work. Right now, I would say that, I mean, there are people who make a lot of money from blogging. It's really just not like a priority point for me because I have a different source of income. Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been doing the growing food? How long have you been growing food?
I've been growing vegetables since I had my first house. So this will probably be since 2012, 2013.
And you've been set, because I see that you also ship for now, you're just shipping to Canada and USA.
So, and those are just seeds. So those are just homegrown seeds for growing your own vegetable, not actual produce, right? So those are just like, if you're interested in growing your own water leaf, here is some water leaf seed that you can grow. If you're interested in growing your own greens, here are some green seeds that you can grow. So not actual produce, no.
So how do we get access to those?
So jolloffco.com/shop, you will be able to see what's available, and you will be able to ship to anywhere in North America.
Yeah. So what happens to those of us in UK?
You found your own.
That's not fair.
Oyo is your case.
Oh my goodness! No, but you should expand so you can reach people like us.
The rules are very, very different.
I know.
You people are, there's always something, and I really am not ready for that.
Why unique like that? We in the UK, why unique like that? I get
know,
you. I know.
Yeah.
Getting things from anywhere outside the UK I know. A friend in Canada tried to send me stuff. It got to the UK and then he sent everything back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't meet our standards here.
It's ridiculous. Or they put this fee on it that costs way more than whatever the thing is worth.
That you're actually sending.
Yeah, it's no.
Oh, that makes me feel sad. I was so excited. I was like, I need to start growing my own food. I love water leaf. I love all the vegetables. I can eat vegetables all day, every day, So I guess I'm stuck buying from the food shops around.
You guys have access to a lot of things from Nigeria anyway, so you are very lucky.
Trust me, if it's not Panadol, it is not the same thing as Panadol. Trust me, it's not the same thing. So we're just managing. I get most of my things from Nigeria. I would rather, so every couple of months I just have them send things, to me, and that's it. Because the things from the shops, not for me. Because I'm scared of preservatives, you understand? So I don't know what has gone in there. So it's better to just get them straight from Nigeria. Wow. Okay. So for your courses, we can get access to your courses on jolloffco.com. Yeah. Now about the lean, I'll just take one more question and then I'll let you go. About your lean plans, your lean programs. So if I wanted to lose weight, but like I have a health challenge, do you still do things for people who have specific health challenges?
So it would depend on what the health challenge is. So for example, people who are diabetic and they're on medication for it will have like a different health profile than say somebody who just has a PCOS. So usually there are options. So you can always send a DM to us and say, hey, I'm trying to lose so amount of weight. These are my challenges. Do you have any program that works? And sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say no. Sometimes people are invited to then consult with me. So I do consultations. And time can be booked on loosennigerian.com/consult. So they usually range from 30 minutes to an hour, and then we can kind of go like in-depth breakdown of what the issue is and what programs can help. Sometimes it's not a program, it's just like a simple dietary modifications that somebody needs to make. So somebody might have, like, say, high blood pressure, for example, or high cholesterol, and it's not always a program that is required. It's just simple modifications to their current lifestyle. So we can usually like kind of go through that in a consultation process.
Okay, thank you so much. Are you a big fan of exercise? Do you think it's necessary?
I think yes. I'm not a gym rat. I've not been into a gym in a couple years. I exercise. So I cycle when I can, which is in the summertime. In the rest of the year, I YouTube. So I'll do like a 30 to a 40-minute YouTube video every day. But one thing I always tell people is you're not exercising to lose weight. You cannot exercise except you're exercising for 2 hours a day. It's hard to burn calories by exercise. So exercise to extend your life and to extend the quality of your life. When you look at it from that perspective, it doesn't look like a chore. So is it skipping? Skip. Is it walking you can do? Walk. Is it dance that you can dance? Anything that elevates your heart rate for an extended period of time is considered exercise. You do not have to go into a gym to get the benefit of exercise. You cannot work out for 40 minutes at a go. Break it down. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes at night, right? So there are things that you can do. Just don't look at it as this is something, because if you look at it like this is something I'm trying to do for weight loss, you never do it. So look at it as this is something I'm trying to do to achieve the quality of life that I want to live. So when I'm 50, I'm not in a wheelchair, and when I'm 60, I'm not. So yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Ronke, for coming on this Esse. It was such a pleasure to have you. And for everyone who joined us, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to having you guys again next week. But before you go, any last words for your viewers? Any word of advice?
There's nothing wrong with the Nigerian diet. All you have to do is change the way you think about it. I know a lot of us think I've been cooking beans since I was 2. I don't need a recipe. You do. You do. Trust me, you do. Because the way that you've been cooking beans is probably not improving your life. So it's extremely important if you're interested in just a healthy lifestyle, even if it's a 21-day program, even if it's just a recipe booklet, it's important to see what healthy looks like, and then you can adjust your lifestyle.
Thank you so much. Until next time on Gist with Esse, remember, stay positive, stay happy, stay mended. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.